If you want to be in for a chance to win this beautiful beast, all you have to do is the following on all 3 videos with this team. Subscribe to the channel, answer the question of the day somewhere in the video, and finally join the Discord servers. That's where they'll be announcing the winner. Best of luck to all of you, and I hope you enjoy the video. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're going against Richie from the Discord server in the OU tier. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. I've also noticed that only 36% of people watching this video right now are actually subscribed, so just double check you subscribe because YouTube likes to unsubscribe people. It's a bit annoying, really. And if you're not subscribed in the first place, why not subscribe? It's free, it really helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump to the team preview. Oh, Richie's got an interesting looking team. They've got a Hisuian Decidueye, Corviknight, Galarian Slowbro, Dragonite, Dondozo, and Grimmsnarl. Pretty awesome looking team, to be fair. The Galarian Slowking's does the Galarian Slowking get chilly reception as well as regular Slowking? Because if so, that's pretty awesome, to be fair. Decidueye is also a big threat. We've got to watch out for that one. I think I can probably, they haven't got any anti-weather stuff, so I think I can probably lead off with something to take on the Grimmsnarl, and I think that thing's going to be Hisuian Decidueye, because we have the Defog, of course, and we can go for the triple arrows, all that wonderful stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. And the battle begins. So Richie's going to lead off with the Slowking. Nice and powerful, gotta love it. We lead off with Hooters, the Decidueye. So not the worst matchup in the world. I'd rather not be against this thing. It's probably going to go for a chilly reception, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out into whatever I want to switch into. What's the hardest thing for them to deal with? Probably the Galarian Moltres. So I'll go into Moltres real quick. Withdrawing Decidueye, of course. Getting Moltres on in there. Galarian Slowking's so cool. I love it. Such a cool Pokemon. So we're going to our Moltres. They go for a Sludge Bomb. We should be able to take that like a champ. No poison as well, which is good. Let's go for that Fiery Wrath. We should do a lot of damage. They probably go for a chilly reception here, to be fair. I would say they go for a chilly reception. We get a crit with a Fiery Wrath as well. And they go for a Sludge Bomb, not a chilly reception, which is great. We're going to activate our Berserk with their Sludge Bomb, which is even better. We go for another Fiery Wrath. I don't really see what they're going to switch in here. There's not a lot really they can switch in, is there? So they're going to withdraw the Slowking. They're going to withdraw the Slowking. Probably Grimmsnarl, right? Grimm comes in. So Grimm comes in. Now, they've got to remember here that Grimm cannot do any status afflictions to our Moltres because of the fact we're a Dark type. So what I'm going to do here is... I would Terra, but then we'd lose our Dark typing. Let's go for a Hurricane. I think we should go for a Hurricane. So they go for a Light Screen, which is absolutely fine by me. We can deal with that, no problem. Go for a Hurricane to get some damage off on them. While we're +1, we may as well. And we get the Confusion as well, which is great. So that's absolutely amazing. Moltres is looking pretty good right now. Let's go for that Hurricane again. Trying to get some damage off on the Grimmsnarl. And then once it's up its screens, we'll nip into our Decidueye. Oh, unfortunately, we missed the Hurricane that time. It's fine, though. Let's see if they break through Confusion. Let's see if they break through Confusion. No, they don't, which is great. So they're going to go ahead and hurt themselves in Confusion. It looks like they went for a Spirit Break there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Heatran. I'm going to withdraw Moltres. We'll save that for later against the Galarian Slowking again. And we'll go into Heatran real quick. Heatran is a good switch here. Heatran looks great in the daylight as well. Oh my god, it looks so cool. So they are going to get hurt by Confusion. They do, yes! Cool. All right, cool. So they get hit by Confusion again. We get to fire off a nice and powerful Stealth Rocks right now. Which is exactly what I'm going to go for. They withdraw Grimmsnarl because they obviously don't want to get hit by Confusion again and lose their Grimmsnarl, which makes a lot of sense. They're going to go into Slowking, which is fair enough. Slowking comes on in. Nice and powerful. It can't really touch us. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to nullify their leftovers by giving them a burn. I think that's probably the best way to go about this. So I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp real quick. Will-O-Wisp comes through. We do hit it straight away, which is great. Burning the Galarian Slowking, which is absolutely amazing. So there we go. Slowking's burned. It's massive as well, Slowking is. I can't believe how big it is. They go for a Surf. We should be able to eat that up like it's nothing. Yeah, I thought so. Easily done, easily done. So, we've got a couple of options here. Do we want to use Heatran to take this thing down? Because I think we can probably do it. We can probably win this 1v1. Go for a Magma Storm. That's what we go for. We go for Magma Storm and then we start spamming Earth Powers. So we missed the Magma Storm, unfortunately, which is a real shame. As they go for another Surf, which is, of course, going to do minimal damage to us. I think maybe the best play here isn't actually to go for this. I think the best place probably to go for something else. So let's see how long this live screen lasts for. So let's go ahead and switch out. If they're going to go for a Surf, we can probably go into Decidueye. Or we can go into Moltres again. I think I'll go into Moltres again. So we got the Stealth Rocks up, which is great. We'll go into Moltres real quick. Moltres can go for a Fiery Wrath, and hopefully it does Berserk activate again if you take another hit whilst you're below half. I think it does. We'll find out in a second anyway, because we're going to live this Surf, no problem. They do withdraw the Slowking though. They don't want to get hurt by the Magma Storm, which is fair enough. And they're going to go back into Grim. So Grim comes in. Grim comes in. It's going to get hurt by some Stealth Rocks, which is always great. We're going to go straight for that Hurricane. We go for the Hurricane, we're going to be golden. Hurricane comes through. We hit the Hurricane, which is great. KOing the Grimmsnarl, which is absolutely fantastic. So Grimmsnarl goes down, which is a real shame for my opponent because they're going to lose their screens like now. So we don't have to worry about screens anymore, which is great. In comes the Dragonite. So Dragonite is a big threat, obviously. For obvious reasons, it's a big threat. What do we do here? So let's go ahead and if we expect them to go for a extreme speed here, we can go into Heatran, eject button out into Pelipper, and then go for a U-turn into the Basculegion. Potentially. Or did they go for a... Let's go into Heatran. Let's try and get a Flame Body Burn. Let's try and get a Flame Body Burn with Heatran. I think that's probably the way to go. Because they don't normally carry Earthquake, to be fair. They're normally Ice Spinner, aren't they? You know, for like Landorus and stuff. So they go for an extreme speed. Let's see if we can get the burn. That'd be nice. Flame Body Burn comes through. The Hax is on our side today. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Right. Heatran, you've got one job right now. Allow me to successfully pivot into my Pelipper and get the rain up, because that is going to be great. The Dondozo is obviously still a thing. We need to watch out for that. I think our best bet is to get the Pelipper rain up, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Pelipper. They do withdraw the Dragonite knowing they can't touch us because they likely have Ice Spinner instead of the Earthquake. Obviously to hit Landorus and Great Tusks and stuff. So they go into the Slow Queen, which is absolutely fine by me. They're going to get some stones dug into them. I keep saying Slow Queen because that's what I call mine, because mine's female. And I don't know why, because it's clearly a Slow King. Anyway, we're going to go into Pelipper. And we're going to get the rain up, which is great. This is going to power their Surfs, though, which is unfortunate. But what can you do about that? Not a lot, really. We go straight for a U-turn here. They probably go for a Chilly Reception. But either way, I'm going to go into my Basculegion. I think I'm going to Basculegion right now. Yeah, let's go into Basculegion right now. So if they go for a Sludge Bomb, we do resist that. We're going to Basculegion. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. They go for a Future Sight, which we have got to remember the turns for this. So it's not the next turn. It's the turn after that that's going to hit. So we need to go into Moltres for that. Now we anticipate... do we go for a Wave Crash? So we could anticipate the switch into the Dondozo and go into something like our Heatran and start Calm Minding up on them. But I'm thinking... Screw it, let's just go for a Wave Crash. Let's just go for a Wave Crash. It'll do some damage to the Dondozo anyway because of the rain. So let's see how much this does. So they actually bring in Corviknight, which is an interesting switch. Corviknight is a very interesting switch. So it's going to take some Stealth Rock damage. It's going to take some Wave Crash damage, which is great. And it actually nearly KOs it, which is crazy. So the Rocky Helmet does dig into us, which is unfortunate. And then the recoil comes through. But we're going to go ahead and go for another Wave Crash. Screw it. Wave Crash comes through. They let the Corviknight go down. I don't know why, though, because they've got Dondozo right there. I feel like Dondozo is the right switch. Right? I feel like Dondozo is the right switch, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this thing. So Recoil and Rocky Helmet are going to be a bit of a pain in the arse. And then Future Sight comes through and takes out Mr. Cursey. So we do lose Basculegion, but looking at their team, the only thing we needed Basculegion for really was the Galarian Slowking. And even then, we've got Moltres, so we're fine. We're golden. We're absolutely golden. So let's go Moltres real quick, because the rain is up. We can hit our Hurricanes in a row. No problem. Let's see what they go into. So they go into the Slowking. So that's fair enough. Slowking comes in. We're going to go straight for that nice and powerful Fiery Wrath. Just to get some damage off on this thing. Fiery Wrath comes through. They stay in, which is interesting. I don't think they have a good switch team, really, to be fair. As they are going to flinch, which is great. Absolutely great. So Burn's going to take into effect real quick, as they do have the leftovers, I believe. We go for another Fiery Wrath. There we go. Fiery Wrath comes through. Should take out the Slowking. It doesn't, unfortunately. As they're able to go for a Surf boosted by rain, that should take us out, right? It doesn't take us out. And it doesn't activate Berserk. So Berserk doesn't work the way I thought it did, which is interesting. So Down goes the Slowking, which is absolutely amazing. We no longer have any need for the Moltres. The Moltres can go down in peace. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to let it go down. There's no point. Dragonite's going to come in. It's all burn and stuff. Not taking any rocks damage, which tells me what it is. It's a heavy duty boost set. I'm going to go straight into Heatran. I'm going to save my Moltres for the Hisuian Decidueye just in case it doesn't have any priority moves. We can definitely use that later. They go for extreme speed. It's going to do minimal damage to our Heatran, of course. As now, all we have to do is Magma Storm this thing. A Magma Storm won't do much damage, don't get me wrong. It's not going to do much damage, but it'll do enough. They probably go Dondozo, to be fair. I'd go Dondozo. I think Dondozo is the best option because your Dragonite's not hitting me for anything. It's not hitting me for anything. They go for a Dragon Dance. Okay, so fair enough, they go for a Dragon Dance right now. I wonder why. I wonder what coverage move they have that can hit Heatran. We go for a Magma Storm. It's obviously going to do minimal damage to it, but it does entrap it. And that's going to do some damage to it every turn alongside the burn. So the rain is going to stop, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? We do have the Pelipper still around in the back, though, so that's absolutely fine. We'll get the rain back up, and then Moltres can come in and start spamming Hurricanes again. So let's see how this works for us. Magma Storm's going to come through for us. Does a decent bit of chip damage to the Dragonite. Let's go ahead and go for a Magma Storm once more. They go for a Fire Punch. That's their coverage move, which makes a lot of sense. It also hits things that, to hit. Magma Storm comes through. It does more damage because of the rain being not there. And then we're going to get some leftovers recovery. It's a bit of a rinse and repeat strategy right now. The Dragonite is trapped, so it can't really do anything. It's just going to have to try and withstand the Magma Storms as best as it can. There we go. Magma Storm comes through again. And then one more Magma Storm should be able to KO this Dragonite. So let's go for the Magma Storm once again. They go for a Dragon Claw, trying to get as much damage off as possible with the stab, which makes a lot of sense. We go for another Magma Storm. We hit the Magma Storm, which is great. And that's going to take out the Dragonite. So who would have thought Heatran would be taking out a Dragonite, eh? Not me, but that's what happens when we're in an Earthquake. I think now that Heatran's back, people are going to start running Earthquake a lot more on their Pokemon. I think there was just not much need for it, really, in the old meta. But I think with this one, like with Heatran being around again, I think you definitely need to. So Decidueye, the former Alpha, is going to come in right now. Nice and shiny. Gotta love it. Look at that. It's beautiful. I love how it looks like the regular Decidueye. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's go for a hit of Will-O-Wisp just in case they try and set up Swords Dance. So we go for the Will-O-Wisp. We do have speed, which is good. So it tells me they're more of a bulky set. But getting the burn off on the Decidueye is going to be great for us. So burn is great. We are great. They go for a triple arrows. That's going to probably KO us. It does KO us, unfortunately. But Heatran got a burn off on them, which is going to be crucial later on down the line. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. So anyway, Decidueye is in. Will it also be Pelipper? That's the real question. So let's go Pelipper. Let's go to the Plopper. We haven't seen Tera yet. That's an interesting one. So we haven't seen Tera yet. So is it going to be Tera Dondozo? That's the real question. So let's go for a Hurricane real quick. They do withdraw the Decidueye to go into the Dondozo, which is absolutely fair enough. Dondozo comes in. There we go. Dondozo comes into the Hurricane, which is going to hurt. It's going to sting a little bit. We might even get the Confusion again, which would be great. Hurricane comes through. It doesn't do a good amount of damage, and we do get the Confusion, which is great. So there we go. Confusion comes through. Are they leftovers? Yes, they are leftovers. There we go. Good to note. Good to note. And I'm strongly believing right now that if we go for a U-turn here into Heatran, I think Hatterene's the best play. So we'll go Heatran real quick. Heatran can come through. Heatran, basically what Heatran needs to do here is it just needs to stay in. He just needs to stay in. Go for an attacking move of some sort. Get some damage off on this Dondozo until it attacks us. They go for liquidation, so they're going to attack us this turn. And then eject button's going to pop, and it's going to give us a free switch into Moltres, which is what we're after. So Moltres can come in now. And Moltres should, based on the damage we did before, no, we should be able to go into our Decidueye, really, shouldn't we? Let's go Moltres. Let's go Moltres. We'll keep Pelipper for the Decidueye. We'll go Moltres just to try and get some damage off on this thing. That's all I can think to do. Dondozo is such a big threat. It's such a very bulky Pokemon as well. Very bulky. So we'll go for a Hurricane real quick. Hurricane's obviously going to hit because of the rain. Does a lot of damage as they're going to get confused. And will they hurt themselves in confusion? That's the real question. I don't think they will they? No, they go for the liquidation. That's going to take us out, unfortunately. But this means Pelipper has won us the game because of the flappy things he does. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Pelipper can come in now, freely go for a Hurricane, and destroy this Dondozo's life, and then the Hurricane should be able to take out the Decidueye the next turn. So let's go for the Hurricane real quick. There we go. Hurricane comes on through. It's going to be able to take it. There's a lot of Gale Storm wins in this battle. Dondozo goes down, which is great. Down it goes. In comes Decidueye, the former Alpha. So Decidueye, the former Alpha comes in, which is great. We're going to get some Stealth Frog damage, which is great. We're going to go for a Hurricane real quick. They might Terra. Last ditch Terra type thing. If they do, that's fair enough. They are going to Terra. What type are they going to Terra into, though? That's the real question. What type are they Terraing into? Because if we lose Pelipper here, we're kind of screwed. Grass. So they unfortunately for them, they don't have another Terra type that resists flying. So that's just unfortunate, but what can you do about that? Not a lot, really. As we go for the Hurricane, should take it out, maybe. It doesn't take it out. It doesn't, as it goes for a Leaf Blade. If they get a crit, that's going to be that's going to hurt a bit. So they got a crit. Was that crit? No, that wasn't a crit, was it? No, it wasn't. So yeah. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's go for another Hurricane. Hurricane. The battle was cancelled. They forfeit because they lose. Great game, Lionel, also known as Richie. Oh, I just got why you called Lionel Richie. I get it. Okay, cool. I can't believe I've only just realized that. The amount of times I've battled Richie. And anyway, thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all the wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.